Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. My name is Edgar Galvez Mancarelli. So as you know, today I would like to talk to you about why you should visit Guatemala. Okay, I will give you some reasons to why you should absolutely visit this country. Okay, so God willing, this will happen soon. You know, we're hoping for this whole pandemic story just to end sometime soon. Okay, so today I will just keep talking about Guatemala. I have shared a lot of information about Guatemala with many of my friends, but today I thought I would like to make a video about this great country, this fascinating country that many people actually don't or haven't really been interested in discovering how great it is. Okay, so I will share with you some information about this country. Okay, so the first reason, well, not the most important, of course, but one very interesting thing about Guatemala that not so many people mention, it's weather. You know, Guatemala, it's called the country of eternal spring, and there's obviously a reason for that. Okay, the weather in Guatemala is just magnificent. Okay, it's never too hot, it's never too cold. Those of you who either live in Guatemala or have lived in Guatemala or have visited Guatemala know what I'm talking about. The weather is just great. You know, it's just somewhere between 20 degrees Celsius and 26, 27 in the capital city. I don't know at the moment what's that in Fahrenheit, but it's about 65, 78, no, 65 to 70 more or less maximum. It's somewhere around there, okay? So, of course, if we drive down to the coast, to the beach, I mean, the weather will be hot, you know, which it's what you're looking for if you're going to the beach, obviously, and you'll be able to get a tan and everything. But what I'm saying is that in Guatemala City, or where most of the places are throughout the country, the weather is just nice. It's just very, it's not hot, it's not so humid either, and it's not chilly either. So you will feel very comfortable with the weather here, okay? If you go higher up in the mountains, of course, it will get a lot colder, but it's not extremely cold. It'll be about 4 degrees, 5 degrees Celsius, okay? So the first thing, it's the weather. I have not met one person that is not a Guatemalan that hasn't said that they love the weather in Guatemala, because it's just perfect. Okay, so the weather is one thing to consider. Okay, now of course, when you visit a country, you're looking to visit interesting places, to get to know the culture, the food, traditions, and speak with the locals, right? Okay, so Guatemala has a lot to offer. It's really a pity that not so many people outside of outside of Guatemala know about everything Guatemala can offer, okay, to the tourist, to the visitor, or even people who just wish to move to Guatemala, okay? So let's begin with Tikal, okay? The Mayan ruins, okay, of Tikal. Now, this is one of the largest Mayan sites in Central America, okay? And it's just great, okay? Tikal is such an amazing place. Unfortunately, I've only been there once, but believe me, as many of you know, those of you who know me, I was born in Guatemala City, and I didn't get out to Tikal until I was 20 something, I think about 24 years old. But believe me, I was completely, I mean, my jaw just dropped. It's amazing. Those ruins there are huge, absolutely huge. They're somewhere in the middle of the jungle, of the Mayan jungle. This is in the Yucatan Peninsula, okay? But it's in Guatemala. It's not in Mexico, because many people relate Mayan ruins and the entire Yucatan Peninsula to Mexico. Now there's a southern part that belongs to Guatemala, okay? And this is exactly where Tikal is located. So look, it's just an amazing place. Now there, it's quite humid there because it's at sea level, mostly at sea level, yes. So it'll be warm and humid, but it's just amazing. It's a great place, magical. You really must visit Tikal. Okay, there is an international airport in near Tikal, which is about 25 minutes from Tikal. But you can also catch a domestic flight from Guatemala City to Tikal. It's about a 25-minute flight, which is also very practical. So that way you can get to see the rest of the country in the southern part. Okay, so Tikal, it's definitely something you must visit. Okay, next, let me talk to you about Antigua. Okay, Antigua is just amazing. I mean, Antigua, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, Antigua used to be the capital city of Guatemala, okay? And after being destroyed by, partially destroyed actually, after some earthquakes, and the capital city moved to where it is now, okay? To where Guatemala City is currently. And as I said, Antigua was partially destroyed. Now, Antigua was later rebuilt, okay? And it is a protected site, and it is just amazing. Many of these old churches and monasteries have now been turned into world-class hotels and restaurants, and are just amazing. It's a great place to visit. You can walk throughout Antigua. It's not a big city, of course, but it's not a small village either. I mean, it's a town. You know, it's a nice place. You could go somewhere different every day. You could stay there for 3 or 4 weeks and visit something different every day. Try different restaurants. Since there's many tourists there, or many people visiting this place coming from all over the world, you can find all types of restaurants. Okay. And it's an amazing place. You must definitely visit Antigua. Okay, so next on the list, we have Lake Atitlan, okay? Of course, Lake Atitlan had to be on this list. Now, I know we've all heard many times that such and such lake, it's the most beautiful lake in the world. Okay, and Lake Atitlan is not the exception. Many people call Lake Atitlan the most beautiful lake in the world. Now, it is beautiful, absolutely stunning, okay? And what makes the lake so amazing is that it is surrounded by volcanoes, okay? And sunsets there, and just spending the entire day in Atitlan is just something amazing. It's a beautiful place. Definitely, it's a beautiful place. There are many small villages and towns around the lake, which are connected by car, or you can just catch a boat and go across to the other side of the lake and visit these little villages, spend the day there, spend the night, or just go for a couple of hours and then catch a boat back to another town. It's amazing. You must really visit Atitlan. Now, where Atitlan is located, it's in the mountains, okay, in the western side of the country. So I'm not saying it's gonna be cold, even if it can get cold sometimes during towards the end of the year, winter time here, okay. It can get somehow chilly in the afternoon or in the evening, but during the day, I mean, you can easily take a swim in the lake, or just get a suntan, okay, and enjoy the day, of course. So it's not going to be as hot as driving down to the coast and going to the beach, but the weather will still allow you to enjoy your vacation. You must visit. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, you can find also many types of restaurants, different types of restaurants, and hotels for any budget, anything that you're looking for. You can find it in Atitlan. Okay, now another thing that I would like to talk to you about, it's Guatemala City. Okay, now Guatemala City, of course, when you, as a tourist, when you visit another country, you're not looking to visit the city, the capital city. Mostly you would like to explore, right? What the country has to offer as far as sites, nature, culture, spending time with the locals, and you're not so interested about the capital city. But I would, okay, personally, I am interested in visiting cities. Perhaps because I've spent many years in Europe and I do love walking around cities and just sightseeing and monuments and museums, etc. Now, yes, culturally speaking, Guatemala City doesn't have much to offer, okay? But it is worth spending at least 3 days in the capital city, because opposite to what many people that have never visited may think, it is a very large and modern city. You know, of course, the city, it is slowly getting better and improving, but there are parts of the city that are worth visiting and just getting to know how locals actually live, because unfortunately on TV and TV shows and movies especially, they don't show how locals live in a country. They mostly show how locals live, but maybe up in the mountains or in small villages or small communities, but they don't show how capital cities work and how it actually is the reality of things. And I think it's actually worth taking a look so that you can have a full picture of the country. Okay, visiting the villages, small places, but also the capital city. It's a large city. It's becoming full of skyscrapers and buildings. I think they are building about 50 new buildings every day, which are very modern, and they put a lot of effort in the design, and it's getting modern. I mean, I love that part of the city, honestly. It's gorgeous, and many people, when they come here, they would never expect to find something like that in Guatemala. But it's honestly worth visiting and spending at least 2 or 3 days. And if you know someone in the capital city, it's even better. They can show you around. Okay, so we also have this great place called Semuc Champey. Okay, Semuc Champey, it's around the center. It's in the center of the country. Okay, it's in the department of Alta Verapaz. Okay, and myself included, everybody that has visited Semuc Champey, they call it that. They say that those are the most beautiful waterfalls they've ever seen in their entire life. Okay, so you should. It's a little bit complicated to reach, but to get to Semuc Champey, you must get to Coban, and then from there take a minibus. Okay, it's a few hours to get there, but you will love it. It is amazing. Okay, it's an amazing place to visit. Okay, so that's another thing, another reason why you should visit Guatemala. Now, something that I couldn't leave out, okay, and the volcanoes. Now, Guatemala has a lot of volcanoes, okay, and it has 37, yeah, you heard right, 37 recognized volcanoes, and many of them are around the capital city and towards the southern western side of the country. And the amazing thing is that you can actually hike these volcanoes. You can take a daily tour or a 2-day tour and hike these volcanoes. You can get a guide or with a group of friends. There's lots of information about this, but you can actually hike the volcanoes, and it's just an amazing place. I mean, an amazing thing to do, a great activity. You have Pacaya volcano, Fuego, Acatenango, Agua, so many of them. And myself personally, I climbed the Pacaya a couple of years ago. I took some friends to hike this volcano, and it's definitely amazing. I mean, the feeling and the view you get from up there. It's just great. So if you're interested in hiking volcanoes, you must definitely travel to Guatemala. Now, one interesting point about the volcanoes is that many of these volcanoes are still active, okay? And you get to see them erupt in the night. Even from the capital city, you can see a couple of them, I think two of them. Yeah, two of them. And it's just an amazing thing to see in the middle of the night. And it's great. So that's another reason, if you've never seen an active volcano, Guatemala, that's the place where you can see an active volcano, okay? So, okay, I made up a list here, okay? So, let's see. Guatemala, as you know, it has, or, I mean, probably didn't know, but Guatemala has many, it has a large Mayan heritage, okay? So, there are many Mayan, different Mayan groups, okay? Each village, especially this happens in the western side of the country, so different villages have different Mayan groups, but they're all different from each other, okay? They came up or they created their own Mayan language, okay? And they are very different one from another in culture, okay? What they wear, it's different. You might find it all the same because they are very colorful, but if you understand about this and if you want to learn more about this and if you look closely, you will see that they are quite different from each other, okay? They all have colors, but they're very different. And so each of these groups, they have their own traditions, their own beliefs, their own cultures. So if this is something that you're interested in, you must definitely take a couple of weeks to visit all these little towns and get to know these cultures, okay? All right, so yeah, another thing, okay, if you want to learn Spanish, there are plenty of Spanish schools in Guatemala, especially in Antigua and in Lake Atitlan. You can find a lot of Spanish schools, and you can learn Spanish, and it's not so expensive, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's see what else. I have one more here for you. Okay, now, yeah, this was the last point. Now, it's actually very easy to reach. Guatemala is very easy to reach, and now you can find cheap flights, either from the United States, from Europe, from Canada, Mexico. It's very well connected to Guatemala. There are a lot of low-cost airlines that are traveling to Guatemala. Of course, now the pandemic, obviously, this has been a little bit irregular, but usually you can reach Guatemala very, very easily and it won't cost you much. Even from Europe, you might be able to find a ticket for about $500, round-trip ticket, okay? So it's very easy to reach, and I definitely would encourage you to visit this country. I think that when we think about Central America, most people think about Costa Rica, Panama, even Nicaragua, which of course, they are great places. I mean, I personally, I've been to Costa Rica, Panama, and Nicaragua, and I lived in Costa Rica for 1 year. And yes, they are great places. They are amazing places which you should also visit. However, Guatemala has always been left out. I mean, it's not been considered. And of course, it's been our local governments. The local government in Guatemala has not promoted the country in Europe, in Asia, or even in North America. So people know very little about Guatemala. When you think Guatemala, you have no idea what it can offer. However, there are amazing things you can do here, okay? Beaches, volcanoes, lakes, Mayan ruins, jungle, mountains, a great capital city. And also, Guatemalan people, they really appreciate foreigners, okay? Foreigners are very much welcome in Guatemala. Guatemalans, they love receiving people from other countries. They actually treat tourists very, very well. And those of you who either live in Guatemala or have lived here or have visited Guatemala know that what I'm talking about, and you know this is true. Tourists here are treated as kings, okay? It's not like other countries, you know, tourists are not treated so well, to be honest, but in Guatemala, tourists will be treated as kings, definitely. So they will do whatever they can do to make you feel comfortable, to get you whatever you need. And one thing about Guatemalan culture is that people will share with you. Now, I'm not speaking about, okay, what I just said a couple seconds ago about being treated as kings. Yes, it'll happen in hotels, restaurants, of course, but that's just the way it is, obviously. But what I'm saying, it's also local people. They will share with you for free everything they have. I mean, it's whether they have a lot of money or not, they will share with you, and they will be happy if you try their food. They will be honored to give you a gift, and they will feel honored if you take that gift back to your country and show your friends. This is something particular about Guatemalan people, you know. They will give you everything that they have, and they'll share it with you, and they will make you feel at home. This is definitely true. So, okay, so basically this was an informative video that I wanted to make for my country, Guatemala, that I love with all my heart, and to share some information about this country with my friends, and also for my English students as a listening exercise, okay? So if you have any comments, any questions, any doubts, or anything that you would like to add, I am no tourist expert, so I could have missed something interesting, but I'm not an expert, okay, on tourism, so I just wanted to share some information and talk a little bit about my country, okay? So as I said, if you have any questions, any comments, anything you would like to know, write them, okay, below, and I will answer every single comment, okay, or every single question. Okay, guys, so if you're not subscribed yet to my channel, please do, okay? Every day we upload material on learning Italian, learning English, and also Spanish soon, okay? You can also follow me on Instagram, Edgar Galvez Mancarelli, okay? So soon I will make another listening practice video. Okay, the next country is a surprise, okay? Okay, guys, so have a nice day. Big hug to everybody. Take care. Goodbye.